Yes, Jai Hind everyone. I am Dr. Ashish Dixit, Associate Professor in a Computer Science and Engineering Department. So today I am discuss about the Big Data Analytics, and topic is the Introduction to PIG, Hive, Hbase and Zookeeper. Okay. So in a last lecture I already discussed about the big data and analytics. So here we will use some concept and introduce a PIG concept. So what is the PIG? PIG that provide a framework for analyzing a large unstructured and semi-structured data on the top of the Hadoop. And how many data was considered in a unstructured and semi-structured? Unstructured data we will consider images, videos and other data that didn't have any format. And semi-structured data we will use CSV files, JSON files and XML files. Okay. So PIG is a framework that will be analyze different types of structured data, unstructured data and semi-structured data. So PIG engine provide a runtime environment where the program executed. Next thing, a PIG Latin is a simple but powerful data flow language similar to scripting language. So here we use the SQL, provide common data operation like a load, filters, joins, group and store. So here we use the logic plan. Here we will load data XYZ and also filter these are XYZ, and here also use a load data TUV. Both are join and also make a XYZ and TUV data. Okay. Next thing, here create a XYZ TUV. Then also we group these data and also group these data. We will make a XYZ TUV. Then for each group and count data, then last we will provide a store of the group and count data. Okay. Then next are PIG characteristics, a platform analyzing a large data set that runs on the top of the Hadoop, provide a high level language for expressing a data analysis. Next thing, user both Hadoop distributed files system SDFS read and write files and MapReducer execute the job. Next thing, execution type. Here we will use a local mode. The PIG runs in a single Java virtual machine and also use access the local file system. Then this mode is suitable only for a small data set when trying out the PIG. Next concept is use a MapReduce mode. A MapReduce mode provides a quick translates queries into the MapReducer jobs and runs them on the Hadoop cluster. It is what you want to run PIG on a large data set. Okay. Next thing, we will use the running PIG programs and use some script, grant and embedded system. There are three ways for executing a PIG program. First, PIG can run a script file that contains a PIG commands. Grant provide an interactive shell for running the PIG commands. Next thing, embedded, user can run PIG program from Java using the PIG server class. Next thing, a PIG latent data flow, we use a load statement to read data from the system. So here we will use a series of transformation statement to process the data. Next, a dump statement to view of the result, a store statement to save the result. Here we will use the load concept, then after the load we will reach on the transformation concept, then last we will dump or store the data. Okay. So, this concept was the PIG. So, again we will go towards the direction of the next concept. What is a hive? A hive is a data warehousing system to store structured data in the Hadoop file system. Hive, a data warehousing system to store the structured data on the Hadoop file system. It's developed by the social media platform Facebook. So, provides an SA query by the executing Hadoop MapReduce plans. Next thing, provide SQL type of language for querying called HiveQL and HQL. Next thing, Hive cell is the primary way that we will interact with Hive. Hive data model, here we use 3 types of data model. First, a table. Here a primitive numeric boolean string and timestamp. These are primitive data, and here we will use a complex data array, maps and structs. Next thing, partitions. Here we will use a divides and table into parts. First, queries that are restricted to a particular date or set of dates can run the much more. Next thing, efficiently, because they only need to scan the file in the partitions that the query pertain to. Next thing, a bucket data in each partition is divided into buckets. First, enable more efficiently query. Next, make sampling more efficient. Next thing, a major component of the Hive. So, a user interface, a user submit queries and other operation to the system. We use a concept of the driver session. Here we will use a driver session handle the executes and fetches the API model on the JDBC ODBC interface. Next thing, we used a meta store. I store all the structured information of the various tables and partition in the warehouse. Next thing, compiler convert the HiveQL into platform for execution. Next thing, execution engine manages dependency between these different stages of the plan and execute these stages on the appropriate system component. Next thing, what is the basic difference between PIG and Hive? So, in a PIG we can say that use the procedural data flow language, but Hive is a use the declarative SQL language. PIG used for programming and Hive used for creating a reports. PIG mainly used for researchers and programmers, mainly used for data and business analytics. Next thing, operates on the client side of the cluster, operates on the server side of the cluster. Next thing, better development environment and debug expectation. Here better integration with the technology is expected. Here we use does not have a thrift server. Here we will use also thrift server. Okay. What are the pros and cons of the Hive? We can say that in a pros cons, ease way to process of the large scale data. Next thing, converting variety of the format within the Hive is simple. Next thing, support SQL based queries. Then it's use the multiple user can simultaneously query the data using the HiveQL. Next thing, allow to write the custom MapReduce framework process to perform more detailed data analysis. Next thing, cons, not designed for online transaction processing OLTP. Hive support overwriting or appending the data but not the updates and deletes. Next, subquery are not supported, no easy way to append the data. Okay, after the completion of a Hive and PIG, and again we will introduce the next concept, Hadoop data distributed file system. We use the Hbase. Hbase is a distributed column oriented database built on the top of the HDFS. It is an open source project and horizontally scalable. Next thing, Hbase is a data model that is similar to Google Big Table that designed to provide a quick random access to huge amount of structured data. Next thing, Hbase is a part of the Hadoop ecosystem that provides a real-time read-write access to data in the Hadoop file system. We use a Hbase store, it's a data in a HDFS. Okay. Next thing, a difference between Hbase versus HDFS. We can say that here Hbase is a database built on top of the HDFS, and here HDFS is a suitable for storing the large files. Hbase provides fast lookup for larger tables. HDFS does not support the fast individual record lookup. Next thing, it provides low latency access to single row from the billions of the record random access. It provides high latency batch processing. Next thing, Hbase internally uses hash table and provides the random access, and it stores the data in indexed HDFS for faster lookup. Next thing, it provides only the sequential access of the data. Okay, these are main difference between Hbase. Hbase is a database. HDFS is suitable for large file. Hbase provides the lookup of the large tables. It's also HDFS support for the individual records. Next thing, Hbase internally use the hash tables, but it's also use sequential access. Here we will discuss about the storage mechanisms in a Hbase. Hbase is a column oriented database, and the table in it's sorted by the row. The table schema defines only the column families, which are the key values. A table also have the multiple column families, and each column family can have any number of the column. So subsequently, we use subsequent column values are stored contiguously on the disk. Each cell value of the table has a timestamp, in short, in a Hbase. So here we will use some different types of concept. Here, table is a collection of rows. Next thing, row is a collection of column families. Then column families is a collection of columns. Next thing, column is a collection of key values pair. These concepts we will use a storage mechanism in a Hbase concept. Next thing, here we also use a Hbase is not and features. Hbase is not an SQL database, not a relational database, no joins, no fancy query language, and no sophisticated query engine. Okay, always kept in mind. Not an SQL database, not a relational database, no joins, no fancy query language, and no sophisticated query engine. It's also have a features. Hbase is a linearly scalable. It has automatic failure support. It provides consistent read and write concept. It integrates with Hadoop both as a source and the destination. It has easy Java API for client. Next thing, it provides a data replication of across the cluster. So we can say that when should I use a Hbase? So make sure you have enough data. If you have 100 of millions or a billions of the row, then Hbase is good candidates, a good technique that will be used. Okay. So next thing, we use the concept of the Hbase Zookeeper. Always kept in mind, a Zookeeper is an open source Apache project that provides a centralized infrastructure and service that enables the synchronize across the cluster. Zookeeper maintain a common objects in large cluster. Again, here we will consider what is Zookeeper mean for. Zookeeper is also used naming services. Here the naming services identify the nodes is a cluster by name, and it is just similar to DNS but for the nodes. Next thing, a configuration management. Here we will use the configuration management, latest up to date configuration of the information of the system. Next thing, we use the cluster management. Here joining, leaving of a node cluster and node status of the real-time concept. Next thing, a leader election, electing a nodes as a loader, as a leader of the coordination purpose. Next thing, locking and synchronizing the services. So here we use the locking the data while modifying its mechanism, help you in automatic fail recovery while connecting other distributed application like Apache and Hbase. Next concept, highly reliable data registry. Here we use available of the data even when one or a few nodes are down. Next thing, how Zookeeper works. So here a Zookeeper give you a set of tools to build a distributed application that can safely handle partial failures. Zookeeper is a simple, Zookeeper is expensive, Zookeeper facilitates the loosely coupled interaction, Zookeeper is a library, Zookeeper requires Java to run, then Zookeeper maintains the configuration of the information system. Then again Zookeeper has a hierarchical namespace and also uses zoo nodes. Okay, so always kept in mind how Zookeeper work. Zookeeper provide a built distributed application that can be safely run, and if any application will be failure, then it will be handled. It's a very simple and systematic way application. Yes, it's also provide a expressive. So here Zookeeper facilitates loosely coupled interaction, also provide a library, also provide a programming language Java, and also provide the configuration management information. So Zookeeper is hierarchically namespace provide and also uses JNodes.